Yeah, I forgot to turn the mic on. I was saying that what's the weather like in your city? I feel like it's a bit chilly today because somehow I feel like wearing short sleeves is a little bit cold. Oh my God, this is hard. A little bit hard. Ah, yeah, great, fantastic. And also,哎呀，每天看戴什么首饰是很开心的一件事情，像在选妃一样。Yeah, you guys can hear me now, right? Yeah, can you guys hear me now? Yeah, good morning, Christy. How are you? Is there any sound now, my friend? Is there any sound now, my friend? Can you guys hear me? Yeah. I think you guys can hear me, right? Can you guys hear me all right? Hmm. Yeah. 手机满格电吗？满格了，现在天天晚上都充，而且买了一个东西，哎，但是好像还没有到，就是它是可以一边插着手机一边充电的，这样就不会担心了，就不会担心有问题了。Yeah, good morning, my friend. What's the weather like at your place? It's a little bit chilly today. I'm not so sure what's the weather like today. 小爱同学，
嘿，
今天天气如何？
上海今天多云转阴，12度到21度，比昨天低5度，
哦
空气质量指数58，空气还可以。如果定位不准，请去音箱 APP 填写摆放位置吧。
Okay, so according to my Chinese version of Alexa, the weather today in Shanghai is 5 degrees colder than yesterday. So that no wonder why I feel like it's so much colder today. Yeah. Mhm. It's springtime, right? I really hate cold weathers. I feel like I could never stay in a city in a place that is like really cold. Yeah, because I like warm weathers. Well, warm weather is best. If not available, then I'd rather to stay in the hot weather than a cold weather. Yeah, seriously. Don't really like cold weather at all. Yeah. Okay, 35 degree in Mexico, that is hot already. What happens in summertime? What's the highest degree in summertime in Mexico, my friend? Can you tell me? Yeah. What's the hottest weather? Because like in Shanghai, in summertime, it can be as hot as like sometimes 40 degrees Celsius. Not so sure about what's the Fahrenheit. Yeah, not so sure about the Fahrenheit, but it's like pretty hot in summer. So I remember back then when I was little, I told you guys I have shared multiple times with you guys, right? In China, like before, in the especially in the 80s, 90s, like we didn't have a very good living condition. So that's why, like when I was little, there was no air conditioner, right? There's no air conditioner. So if there are any Chinese friends, could you please let me know since when, since which year did you start to have like aircon in your family? So I remember it was really during the well almost late 90s that every household started to have air conditioner. So could you imagine during the summertime when the weather was like 40 degrees Celsius? Well, I'm gonna check how much is that in how much is that in Celsius in Fahrenheit? Okay, and I'm gonna check how much is that in Fahrenheit. So like 40 degrees Celsius is definitely like extremely hot. Well, wait, you say like 45 degrees? Oh my god, then nobody's out there on the street, right, my friend? Yeah, 我来查一下，40度，40摄氏度是多少华氏度？Yeah, 40 degrees Celsius equals to 104 degrees Fahrenheit. 104 degrees Fahrenheit. Could you imagine that during summertime it's 104 degrees Fahrenheit? Thank you, Lee the cat. Yeah, 104 degree Fahrenheit, and there is no air conditioner. There's no air conditioner at your home. Could you imagine that? It was like super hot, and yet like people don't have air conditioner. That was like back then in the 90s. And I remember when I was little, like because it was so hot, right? And kid didn't 我们广东早已经开空调了，你们现在就已经开空调吗？Crystal Little C. Yeah, so I was like saying, so when I was little, right, because it was so hot during the summertime and there was no air conditioner, right? So what happened is that I remember very clearly that my grandma was just like waving the fan to calm me down and sing some like very calming songs and to put me to sleep. Yeah, it was like that. Yeah. Chat, I like her. Thank you, my friend. Dead Eyes. Yeah. Why everything has the Chinese version? Watching from Brazil. Yeah, welcome, my friend. Welcome, everyone. Hi, good night. Yeah, yeah. So 开了好多天，太热了。What's the weather like, Christy? What's the weather like in your in Guangdong? Yeah, I understand that because before, so Christy is from Guangdong and she's saying that you guys are already turning on air conditioner now because it's so hot there, right? I completely get you because I have worked in Hong Kong for quite many years, and I know that at this point of time, when the weather already reached, for example, 28, 29 degrees, especially in the evening, and also because it's not like the dry hot, it's like the very humid kind of hot. Sometimes you just turn on the air conditioner just to remove all the humidity in the air, right? So I completely understand you that why you need to turn on the air conditioner. Yeah. Okay, it's nighttime there. Good to see you guys. Yeah. Yeah. So talking about weather, like what's your favorite weather, guys? What's your favorite weather? Can you tell me in the comments? What's your favorite weather? Yeah. Hello, Hector. Hi, everyone. Yeah, what's your favorite weather? Yeah, just tell me in the comments. Let's be more interactive today. Yeah. Wait, why is no one interacting with me? Yeah, so what's your favorite weather? Tell me, what's your favorite season? What's your favorite weather? Just tell me in the comments. Would definitely love to see your answer. Snowy day, fall in Florida. Yeah, what's your favorite weather? Yeah, what's your favorite weather? Tell me. Yeah, Bertram, you have to tell me your answer before I answer your question. How is BYD perceived in China compared to Tesla? Okay. Yeah. Ooh, you like gloomy, dark clouds and rainy days? Oh, okay. That is my like the kind of weather like I like least. Yeah, I really don't like gloomy, dark clouds, rainy days. Yeah, to be honest, I don't quite understand like why people like those kind of days. Is it because those are the days you could stay indoor? Yeah, because I'm an outdoor person. I just love like spring and where all the green leaves and like sunshines. Just go out, hang out. Yeah, and everything is fresh and bright. I love spring. Yeah, me too, Louis the cat. Me too. Like I love the spring because everything is fresh and bright, right? I really enjoy seeing like during the springtime when all the trees start to grow new leaves, right? And all the flowers are starting to bloom. So no matter where you go, you just feel like, oh my God, everywhere is so lively. And every day you're seeing something that is growing, and I really like it. But I do love a good loud thunderstorm. Oh, I hate that. I hate that so much because I'm frightened when there's a loud thunderstorm. Like that really frightens me. When I was little, whenever there was a big thunderstorm, I actually would cry. And my dad would then just calm me down and say, "That's okay, it's okay." I really hate thunderstorms. Yeah. So even today, like up till now, like whenever there is a big thunderstorm, I still would feel like really, really, really scared. 昨天的直播回放在小破站能看到吗？每天应该都会上传，昨天的没上传吗？默默。一般性来讲，就是要么就是当天传，要么就是第二天传。如果说没有传的话，你们提醒一下，OK，可以提醒一下我。就在，如果你们没有加这个粉丝群的话，可以加一下粉丝群，然后就是可以在群里边提醒一下我。Yeah. So someone's asking, okay, just so you guys know, like every day's live stream is recorded and will be put on YouTube and also Bilibili for replay. Okay. Yeah, so if you guys have missed the live stream one day, or like you just feel like you want to watch the replay, you could actually just follow me on YouTube as well as on Bilibili. The account name is Nitrix456 with the same profile photo. Okay, so usually like we would upload the replay on the very same day, or like if like it's a very busy day, then we're gonna upload the next day. Okay, the next day. So if still the very next day you haven't really seen it, just remind me inside the chat group. Okay, so people, my friends on Red Note, just see, so you see here on top right corner, this is the place that you're gonna be able to join my followers club. Okay, this is the place that you're gonna join. You can join my followers club. You can just remind me that I haven't really uploaded the replay, and then we'll make sure the replay is uploaded. Okay, yeah, so Yeah, I'm so glad there's so many of you guys really like the live stream and would even want to watch the replay. Yeah, so to be honest, I never imagined that. I never ever imagined that people would love me and really like this podcast and would want to even watch the replay. That is really a big, big bonus to me. Yeah, and thank you so much for all my friends for your wonderful support. For your wonderful support. Okay, thank you so much. Yeah, do you have often thunderstorms in Shanghai? What is thunderstorm? What is thunderstorm? I don't know what is thunderstorm. Tander. Tander. What is thunderstorm? Let me see. That's a new word. Now, learning English every day together with you. And thunderstorm. Are you saying thunderstorm? Is that what you're saying, Wesley? Because I see no thunderstorms. Are you saying thunderstorm? Yeah. So Shanghai's thunderstorm is well, during summertime, it's often, but it's not often to a point that you get to see like every week. Okay, thunderstorm is a thunder. Yeah, I know thunderstorm. Oh, okay. Wait, thunderstorm is not same as hurricane, right? Hurricane is the other another level. Like hurricane is like a huge, huge, huge storm. Like thunderstorm is just thunderstorm, right? You just have thunder every day, right? Well, not every day. You just have some thunder on a rainy day, right? So we do have some thunderstorms, and it's not an English word that I know of. Okay, thank you, Gailwind. I think probably Wesley has typed the wrong word. Yeah, somehow like we have cleared up. So he's saying like thunderstorm. So in summertime in Shanghai, we do have some thunderstorm, but it's not like so frequent to a point that we have it every week. Okay, so okay, so I told you guys that I have lived in Hong Kong before, right? And also something very fun about Hong Kong. Okay, so in summertime of Hong Kong, usually every summertime they would have typhoon coming. Okay, wait, wait. In Asia, a hurricane is a typhoon. Wait, so guys, I need your help. Can you guys actually teach me? Thunderstorm, I'm pretty sure is the weakest, and then thunderstorm, typhoon, and hurricane. What about the difference between typhoon and hurricane? Like, is hurricane bigger than typhoon? Is typhoon bigger than hurricane? Yeah, in my understanding, I think like hurricane is bigger than typhoon, right? Because every year, I heard about this, those kind of news about the hurricane that happened in Florida, and somehow like the kind of you know damage that a hurricane would bring to Florida is like pretty much crazy. Like everything is destroyed. Like that's not something like typhoon, or typhoon also destroy a lot of things. It's not like hurricanes that would destroy everything. Yeah. Hurricanes are exciting to live through. They're not too bad where I live. Okay, different terms for different parts of the world for essentially the same thing. Okay, so typhoon and hurricane are the same. Okay. I don't think typhoon and hurricane are technically different. Okay, interesting. Okay, another new knowledge today because I thought hurricane is bigger than typhoon. So now today I know that hurricane is just same as typhoon. It's just that different places call it differently, right? Okay, interesting to know. Yeah. Thank you, my friend, for teaching me that. Okay, on average in my region, thunderstorms happen less than 15 days of the year. Okay, so that's like, is that a lot or is that a not a lot? Yeah, hurricane occurs in the Atlantic and Northeast Pacific. Oh my God, Louis the Cat, now you become the geography expert. Is there anything you don't know about it? I feel like you know literally everything. You're amazing. Yeah. Yeah. I learned something new also. Okay. Yeah. So like every year in Hong Kong, they would have like typhoon or hurricane, right? So actually Hong Kong is also a typhoon place, right? It's also a typhoon city. So during the summertime, they would have like all sorts of typhoon, and they categorize typhoon according to the level of the typhoon strength. For example, typhoon one, typhoon two, and all the way to typhoon 10, I think. Yeah, I think all the way to typhoon 10. So usually like it's if it's typhoon anything above typhoon 8, then you're gonna have the whole day off no matter where you are, like whether you work in company or you study at school, you're just gonna have one day off because it's the typhoon day, right? And somehow like it's usually what usually happens is that typhoon 8 comes during the mid of the night. And then when you wake up in the morning, you see there's a typhoon A sign. So like you're gonna have then you'll be able to take the entire day off. However, usually the typhoon will just leave during the noontime. So basically, you're just gonna have like one afternoon off. So remember back then in summertime, it was always something like I'm looking for. forward to, which is where is the Typhoon 8? When is a Typhoon 8 coming? Like I would always be expecting the Typhoon 8 to come. And I really hope that it would come in the middle of the night. So we're gonna have the entire day off the very next day, right? Somehow, sometimes like it's usually like Typhoon 3 still in the middle of the night, and when I wake up it's still like Typhoon 4. It's not till the level of Typhoon 8, so you still have to go to work, and the typhoon arrives in the noontime, and then you then can take the rest of the day off by leaving because it's Typhoon 8 in the afternoon. And what's worse is that Typhoon 8 comes around like 4 p.m., like 4 or 5 p.m., and then you then basically just already had your entire day of working, right? And then you return home and Typhoon come, and then you can do nothing during the evening, and the very next day Typhoon left, so you didn't have a one day off. So that's something very interesting. So like usually in Hong Kong, like every summer there will be at least one Typhoon 8 day where people could take this one day extra day off. It's like a free public holiday. So, and in Hong Kong, because you see all the people are living in the apartments, right? So they also have lots of shopping malls around those kind of neighborhood, and they people would then just go downstairs and go to watch a movie, on the Typhoon day, which is very very lovely. Yeah, 雷雨 a thunderstorm. Uh-huh. Okay, thunderstorm. 雷雨 is a very famous novel here in China. Yeah, the hurricanes at different strengths. We've been hit bad here in AI in 1979 was awful typhoon. Okay, where are you from, my friend? Yeah, where are you from? What's that? Yeah. Enjoy your life. Have to go. Just come home from work. Okay, thank you, Gail Wind. Have you followed me? Have you followed me? If you haven't followed me, follow me, please. Alabama. Which state out there in the U.S. has the biggest like hurricanes? I thought it's Florida. I thought it's Florida because I feel like every year, like on TV news, I just saw news that says that like Florida always has like hurricanes, and government has to just ask people to leave their homes to move to some other places, like some other shelters, and wait till the hurricanes to come and leave, then move back. And whenever people move back to their original homes, like everything was just damaged, like devastatedly damaged. So like I thought like Florida is the biggest hurricane state. Yeah. So and somehow like last year it was a pretty big hurricane, right? So I always wonder it's just like some cities in Florida. I want to understand that. So when hurricane come hit Florida, it's gonna hit the entire state, or it's just every time they hit different parts of Florida. I want to understand that. Yeah, I want to understand that because, well, if it constantly just had hit one place, then why would people want to still stay in there, right? Because their home got destroyed a lot. We have about 22 hurricanes of different categories in the region every year. Wow. Wow, some cities. Okay, so every time different cities, right, my friend? Florida got major damage recently. And also I heard that, for places that has lots of natural disasters, it's very hard to buy insurance because insurance company wouldn't just insure places that has higher chance of getting, damaged different parts because Florida is beautiful. Yeah, that is also true. My impression of Florida is just two things. One is it's absolutely beautiful, and that's definitely a vacation spot, right? And the second thing is it has hurricane. Yeah, probably its location, Atlantic and Gulf of Mexico. Yeah, okay, I see it. Yeah, Florida is prone to flooding. Uh-huh. Yeah, so last year what happened is the California fire, right? So every year California would have fire, and every year Florida would have four hurricanes, right? So that's my impression. I never realized how the fire in California can be such a huge thing until there's one year that I went to Florida. It was during their forest fire season, so I could just smell burning, the smell of the burning trees, of those kind of smell, standing inside the city, just sitting in a restaurant, and I can smell it. And that's the first time I feel like a forest fire is that close to me. Yeah. No, no, no. I can hit everywhere along the Gulf Coast, Alabama, Florida, Mississippi, Louisiana, Texas. Okay. Wow, that's like many, many states. But how come like I feel like every year I just heard about like news about Florida. I didn't really hear a lot of news about hurricanes in other states. Yeah. And the plain states in the middle has a lot of tornadoes. Wow, oh my god, you guys have so many natural disasters. I don't get to hear a lot of the tornadoes here in China. Like somehow you guys have like hurricanes, you guys have like forest fires, and you guys have tornadoes. You guys have like everything. Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. So many natural disaster. Yeah. So like, okay, I have a mentor who's currently living in Long Island, which is very close to New York, or inside New York. Is that considered to be part of New York as well? Right. So she told me that, the reason why, because like I remember back then when California fire happened, right? Lots of people were talking. There was conspiracy that said that the fire was set on purpose by some people, right? And because like lots of the insurance company, they just stopped providing fire insurance like 2 months before the big fire in California. How many of you have heard of it? How many of you have heard about it? Yeah, back then I saw like many content creators like making posts like that, right? So like they were saying that okay, lots of the fire insurance companies stopped providing fire insurance 2 months before the California fire. And that's why like people said that the California fire, the biggest fire that has burned down so many 网络不好吗？网络有问题吗，同志们？网络应该 OK 吧？好像我看没啥问题。Yeah, they were saying that like so that the biggest California fire that has burned down so many celebrities' house in the Beverly Hill, all the rich people's homes were burnt down, and they say that those many of the houses were burned down, and they don't have any fire insurance to cover the entire thing, right? So that's why they say that okay, everything is like conspiracy, and you know 我刚刚在厕所拍的有什么鬼？小姐，我还以为你在跟我说，我想说什么厕所？Yeah, and also like so I asked my mentor like who's living in Long Island of New York, and then she told me that there's a chance. So for all those like insurance company, they're very smart. They would actually do prediction. Lots of like actually spend lots of money, invest lots of money to hire a team of experts like really studying about the weather, okay? Climate experts. They have a team of climate experts just to study the weather, to do the weather forecast, to do the climate forecast for different regions. So what she said is that like very likely is that those kind of insurance company has already predicted that would be a big fire that's going to happen in California 2 months before the California fire. So that's what she shared with me. So like once they notice that might be a big fire upcoming and that would cause like severe like compensation, like the insurance company would have to pay for all the victims in the future, then they just stop providing any insurance to all those families. Yeah, so that's what basically happened. That's according to her. And the reason why she come up with this conclusion is that she lives in, like I said, Long Island of New York, right? And she said that when she started when she's looking to extend one more year of flood insurance. So different regions, depending on what kind of climate, extreme climates they are very likely to get exposed to, the different regions would have to buy different insurance, right? For example, California people, then they would buy fire insurance, and for like them, then they would buy like flood insurance. And somehow this year, when she wants to extend the insurance of her flood insurance, and there is literally no insurance company who's willing to sell the flood insurance to her. And she was like, wait, why? Like, why nobody wants to sell like flood insurance? It was like very easy to extend the insurance before, right? So every year, like you basically just pay a premium, insurance premium, you're able to extend your like insurance, right? However, she said like this year is extremely hard. Like no insurance company is willing to do that. Then nobody would tell her then later on, like insurance company wouldn't tell her like the reason behind that, right? Yeah. 哎，那个啥，老公，有点冷，能帮我拿一件外套吗？我那个 Lululemon 的那件外套。Yeah. So like she was like very shocked at that because nobody tells her like the reason why that no longer any more like flood insurance, right? And then she later on thought like about based on what happened in California fire is that maybe potentially it's because of those kind of insurance company predicted a very big flood coming. That's why they are no longer willing to provide any insurance. So that's why she also later on thinking about like maybe I should also move, right? So better just avoid those kind of risk. Yeah. Speaking of home insurance, speaking of home insurance, please discuss how it typically Speaking of home insurance, please discuss how it typically works in China. Thank you. 好了，有点冷。 穿件外套哈。今天天气还是有点凉的。California fire is because of drought along with strong winds. Yeah, so it was like natural disaster. Like basically every year you just have like California fire, right? This year is particularly strong, particularly big, right? Has burned down so many houses to a level that you have never seen before. And that's why people are saying that, wow, is it really natural disaster or maybe it's because of some like human behaviors, right? It was set like the state was set on fire on purpose by someone, right? The people there's lots of discussion around that, especially given the fact that lots of fire insurance companies stopped providing fire insurance 2 months before the big fire, right? So yeah. Okay, so someone asked like if I can share some knowledge about the insurance, how the insurance system here works, right? So okay. To be quite honest with you, I am not so familiar with all the insurance system here works, okay? 声音又有点小嘛，再靠近一点好吗？OK，声音现在可以吗？Yeah，小罗菲，你把你的这个音量也调大一点啊，我这边已经靠得挺近了，可能没有办法更大音量了，好吗？OK，Yeah. So also, where were I? Yeah, the insurance here in China. So like I know that here in China we have all sorts of different insurances. Okay, guys, I'm not selling insurance. Okay, I'm not selling insurance. I'm just sharing some knowledge about insurance since someone asked about this insurance. Nice jacket, thank you. This is just a Lululemon, very comfortable. However, like nowadays in China, we have so many local kind of sportswear that is equally comfortable but like cheaper than Lululemon. So this one is actually not purchased by myself. It's purchased by a friend, well, ex-colleagues, like three very lovely colleagues. Like they just bought this lovely Lululemon for me when it was my last day in my very first firm. Okay, so here in China, we have all sorts of different insurances. Okay, so definitely have fire insurance. But I don't really remember like every household would have to buy fire insurance or something like that. Okay, my Chinese friends, do you guys remember like do we buy fire insurance? Because I was never the one like who take care of all the insurances in my family, so I actually don't really know about that part. Yeah，我们在这个有没有中国的宝宝们？我们平常会买活险吗？我怎么不记得我们有买活险这个事情？真的不太记得我们有买活险这个事情。Yeah. Do you think I buy an Oppo mobile phone, it will work in Europe? I think so. Yeah, Oppo phone is fine. Yeah, if you not so sure about other phones, but if you buy an Oppo phone, it should definitely work in Europe. Yeah, yeah. 没买过。对，我觉得好像我们没有买活险这个事情的哈。Yeah. Yeah, it looks like okay. So my understanding is correct. So like I don't remember we buy fire insurance. Like we never heard of like any household would have to buy fire insurance or there is a fire insurance option here in China. We basically just live in our own home and looks like we don't buy like fire insurance. Like I personally have never purchased any fire insurance and not has like any other like my parents like they didn't purchase fire insurance. However, back then when I lived in Hong Kong, okay, when I lived in Hong Kong, I remember there was fire insurance purchased. So when I was renting an apartment from the landlord, it was landlord's duty to purchase a fire insurance just in case that fires there was a fire and everything was burned down. So she has to buy and fire insurance in order to lease her apartment to me. I remember that's what is the case in Hong Kong. However, in China, in mainland China, I'm not so sure about that because I have seriously never heard about fire insurance here. Yeah，只有财产损失险是吗，Gail？对，财产损失险我都没怎么听说过。就是我们大家每个家庭会买财产损失险吗？我都不记得我们会买这种类型的保险。Yeah. So like for example, the kind of insurance like people would buy is car insurance. So pretty much people, whichever families that has a fire has a car would definitely buy a car insurance. And how the car insurance works, I think it should be the pretty similar to the how car insurance works in other countries. Yeah. 哦，有财险，OK，好的，有财险。So we have a kind of insurance according to some other Chinese friends. Okay, so apology because I am never the kind of person in the family that deals with the insurance purchasing. So I do not know too much about that. So like lots of the Chinese friends are telling me in the comments that in China we have this family kind of a family property, family wealth kind of insurance that is not forced. That is not compulsory insurance that you have to buy. However, that's the kind of insurance lots of people would buy. So I think that insurance covers like fire insurance, everything. So basically, that insurance is about like, say, for example, if anything happens to your home and anything that happens to you losing, for example, there's someone like break into your home and steal everything, right? Or there's a fire that burns down everything. So that insurance just ensures that once your own personal belongings or your properties were, well, either damaged or stolen by others, like you get some like insurance on that, right? That's my understanding of 财产险. Am I right about that, my friend? 这个财产险的理解应该是对的吧 Yeah. Is car insurance an option or is it mandatory? 车险是必须的还是不是的 Okay, so car insurance is a must, right? Okay, is car insurance an option or is it mandatory? Guys, so is car insurance mandatory? 车险是必须的吗朋友们 tell me. Well, I'm not so sure if it's mandatory or it's option. Oh, it's a must. Okay, people are telling me, okay, it's a must. So, like in China, if you have a car, then you must have a car insurance. Okay, that's a must. Oh, okay. Yeah, everyone is telling me that's a must. Okay, yeah, that's a must. So, how car insurance works is that okay, so if you have a car accident, so basically that if you have an accident, then the car insurance is gonna pay for the the damage fee, everything, right? And however, if you don't have any accidents throughout the year, so next year's car insurance premium is going to be same or maybe even lower, right? However, like for example, if this year you have like accidents, then next year's car premium is going to rise. It's going to increase as a punishment that you have had car accident this year. Yeah, so lots of drivers like my dad would be like very careful when driving so that next year the car insurance premium would be stay the same. Yeah. 车险除了交强险外，其他什么叫交强险？这块我真的不懂，真的不懂呀。什么是交强险呀？你们可以教我一下吗？什么是交强险？Yeah, car yes, home no, but almost everyone buys insurance. Yeah, car insurance is a must buy for other insurance. Well, we also have like healthcare insurance. Healthcare insurance, like how healthcare insurance works is that if you work for a company, so basically that company is going to just pay some part of the health insurance for you together with part of your salary that would be put inside the healthcare insurance that pool. So in China, our like whole welfare system works in a way that we have like five insurance and one pension, something like that. Five insurance and one pension, we call it. Yeah, we call it five insurance and one pension. 五险一金。对，确实，因为我开始工作以后，我都是在香港，然后在平常在家里这块我也不太管，所以这个我确实不是很了解。Yeah. Someone said this looks like you're not so familiar with this part of insurance in China. And I said, yeah, right. Because after graduation, I started working in Hong Kong. And just so you guys know, like the Hong Kong insurance system is completely different from the insurance system in mainland China. Okay. So for example, like I said, like in China, you have this kind of system. We call it five insurance and one pension. 五险一金嘛，对吧？有五险一金。So basically means that if you work for a company, so every month out of your salary, okay, Chinese friend, correct me if I'm wrong, okay? I have already made this disclaimer that I'm not so familiar with it. So I might be wrong when I explain it to all the foreign friends, okay? So help me with that if I'm saying anything wrong, okay? So according to my understanding, okay, according to my understanding, so every month, so the company, if you work for a company here in China, like part of your salary together with the company would also put some money from the company's pocket together and put into an account. And that account is, well, that actually multiple accounts. So each insurance would have an account, right? I said there are five insurance. So each insurance would have one account. So there is a healthcare insurance, I remember, and also some like 五险一金是哪五险啊？一个是医疗险肯定是五险一金的，另外四险是什么？What's the five insurance and one pension？金是什么？金是公积金什么？哎呦，这块真的不了解。Yeah. Okay, now I need to ask my Chinese friends to teach me this. Okay. Yeah, because I've always worked in Hong Kong. Okay, so maybe like let's do this. Okay, I'm gonna share about the whole system in Hong Kong, and during my sharing for Chinese friends, can you guys please help me explain in the comments so that I can understand about what's the 五险一金 here in China? Yeah. Okay, there are people already answering. Okay, so okay, 金氏住房公积金. Okay, yeah, okay, all right. So the five insurance is 社保、养老、工伤医疗失业生育险，对吧？生育险. Okay, so let me translate. Okay, five together is okay. Thank you, Kung Fu Panda. Yeah, so one is like pension insurance. We call it insurance rather than just pension fund. Okay, we call it pension insurance, healthcare insurance, unemployment insurance, 生育. How to say 生育 Like having baby insurance. Having baby insurance. Okay, I'm just call it now. And another one is 工伤. How to say 工伤? 工伤 means like if you got hurt during work. Okay, that's the kind of insurance that protects you. Maternity insurance. Yeah, maternity insurance. 生育险是只有女的有还是男的女的都有的？男的也有. Okay, yeah, okay. So baby insurance, yeah, it's having baby insurance. Yeah, so if you have babies, if you have 生育险到底是怎么用的呢？那这个保险是干嘛？就你生孩子的时候可以用生育险，这样你生孩子的费用就可以减免了，是吗？啥意思啊？什么报？就是你生孩子在医院里边，如果付了钱，这个钱就拿生育险去报，是吗？单位给你报。哦，OK，Oh, okay, okay. So how it works is that if you the baby insurance is that okay, so that's like five compulsory insurance if you work for a company here in China. So every company will then pay for the five insurance for you. Like I said, healthcare insurance is very easy to understand, right? And the baby insurance is very cool. The baby insurance works in a way that if you have a baby and that and then like if you gonna because like having a baby in the hospital would also be costly if there's no insurance, right? So okay, if you plan to have a baby, you got pregnant and somehow you had a baby, so the fee that you pay to have the baby can then be reimbursed with this baby insurance. So that's also like one insurance that we have in here. Okay, so that is the baby insurance. And the other insurance is like very easy to understand, right? Like we said that unemployment insurance, which means that if you want to get an employee, then there will also be, like some money that covers you because if you have already paid like an unemployment insurance, right? And also 工伤保险, like if you got hurt, right? For example, someone got disabled because like some accident happened during the time that he was working, then also there is some like work damage kind of insurance in here. So altogether, five insurance. Yeah, what if you have no baby? Yeah, that's a good question. So 那如果没有生孩子怎么办？没有生孩子，那生育险的话是就没用浪费了是吗？Yeah, does anyone know if there's no baby, if we don't have a baby, if for someone who don't want to have babies, don't have a baby, then what happens to this like baby insurance? Like is that gonna just be wasted? Like what happened? Yeah. OK，所以就是这样子的。如果说没有，Yeah, workers' compensation insurance, yeah, that's 工伤险，Yeah, right. 那如果没有宝宝的话呢？没有生孩子的话，那生育险就浪费了是吗？Yeah, OK。医院的费用还有产假期间的工资也是哦，OK，所以医院的费用和产假期间的工资都是这个保险来付的。Oh, okay. So interesting to know. So, like they were saying that my Chinese friend are teaching me and saying that so for our insurance, the baby insurance, that the kind of insurance you guys say that's very cool. So the baby insurance works in a way that it only not only covers the kind of fee, hospital fee when you have a baby, but also covers the salaries during the maternity leave. Maternity leave. Okay, so that insurance also pays for the maternity leave, salaries for the maternity leave. Yeah. Okay, yeah. So I remember, so in China, like ladies have, 98 days of maternity leave, I think. 98天嘛，是吧？产假 yeah, 98 days of maternity leave. That's by law. Okay, that's by law. So if you have a baby and the company cannot fire you, then they must give you a 98 days of maternity leave, and that is by law. Yeah. I have heard from Chinese friends that people who don't have a baby is wasted for them. Okay. 不能用没有孩子，没错。Oh, okay. Yeah. So that's why like they actually that's why well I maybe that's just a way to encourage people to have babies here. Yeah, 98. Yeah, 98. So for some areas it may be longer, right? 158 for some cities and some provinces. Yeah, I think from by the national law it should be like around 98 days. However, in different cities, 哦，流产也可以用，哦，生育险流产也能用。Okay, so interesting. Wait, so someone said that the baby insurance also cover for the fee if someone has abortion. 喂，你说的流产是自然流产，还是如果说是就是是真的就是想要去流产，就是一个人去医院做人流，人流也要也可以报的啊。朋友们，来跟我说一下呀。Wait. So baby insurance also covers the fee for abortion. That is actually doesn't make sense. Yeah, from that point, I don't think it makes sense, right? Well, if miscarriage, it covers the kind of fee, hospital fee to deal with miscarriage that I understand. Well, it only covers miscarriage, right? It doesn't cover abortion, right? Wait, just so you guys know, like abortion and miscarriage are the same Chinese words in Chinese. They're pretty the same in Chinese, okay? Yeah. So OK，就是如果是合法的夫妻要去做这个的话，也是生育险可以报的吗？So if so one couple they are legally married and they want to have abortion and the fee for abortion is also covered by baby insurance, my friend? Oh, really? Oh, okay. Interesting to know. Okay, interesting to know. Wow. 主播的知识在指数级增长，确实在学习，跟你们学习。Oh, okay. So people are telling me that here in China, it is true. Like if the couples are legally married and they want to 你要再解释计划生育就有的说了，那确实。If they want to have an abortion in hospital, that fee is also covered by the baby insurance. Wow, so the baby insurance covers so many things. It covers the fee for having babies, covers the fee for dealing with miscarriage, right? Also covers the fee for like abortion. That's interesting to know. And people explain that the reason behind why the baby insurance also covers, yeah, exactly, it's because of birth control. It's because of the birth control policy. So back then we had this birth control policy that we have like every family household can only have like one baby, right? A single child policy. And that's like birth control. So that's why like the insurance also now it makes sense, right? Now it makes sense. Yeah, but what happens now? Like now we don't need any like we don't have any more single child policy, right? And the country is not encouraging any like birth control. As a matter of fact, I think the country is actually encouraging people to have more babies, right? Encourage people to get married and have more babies, right? So like now does the baby insurance still covers that? 哦，需要医疗诊断书证明必居室。Oh, okay. Wait. So like, so wait. So when says, can you explain to me? It's like before or it's now? Now. Yeah, 因为他们之前说有些说的是，就是这个是，计划生育期间的话，你其实如果你想要做这个的话，你就可以去医院去做，然后就可以报销嘛，对吧？但是你说这个是现在是吗？那如果是因为 feel like logically, I feel like it's a bit contradictory to each other, so I quite kind of want to sort it out. Yeah. Usually, the woman will take hormone pills to prevent it. Prevent what? Prevent being pregnant. Yes, but they still probably don't want to take away support for abortions in case someone picks her up on the street. Really? Wow. Is that what happens in your country, my friend? Oh my God, it's really, you're saying that usually women will take hormone pills to prevent it in case someone picks her up on the street. Is that bad, my friend? Which country are you from? I want to understand, like, which country are you from? Like, you're saying that, like, women will have to take hormone pills just to prevent they got, like, are you saying, like, raped on the street by others? Oh my God, that is insane. Which country are you from? That is pretty terrifying. Yeah. When did you one child policy stop? 计划生育是哪一年停的？it didn't happen like very long time ago, just several years ago. Like I couldn't really remember which year exactly, Mark, but it happened like one year. All of a sudden, it becomes so they didn't do it all of a sudden. Okay, so they started by saying like now everyone can have two children, not like you can have as many children you want. It's like two children, and then like later on they say like okay, then people everyone you can have three children. And then it's like okay, there's no control, like everyone can have as many children as possible. However, like people just don't want to have that many. That's the reality. Yeah. Okay. That's crazy. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah. No, no, no. She agrees to it, but she can't control. I'm in the West. Yeah, don't quite understand. Yeah. Some abortions are necessary to save the mother. It's legal in Australia too. Yeah, I know. I completely agree with you because I remember well, from time to time, like abortion was a very heated discussion in the US. In some states, like abortion is considered to be illegal, right? Lots of celebrities would then stand out and say, like, how come you say like abortion is illegal, right? And they say that I remember Rihanna also like made a video and just shout out and to people that, oh my God, it's a human right. Like you actually deprived women's right of having to abortion, right? Some women just got pregnant all of a sudden. It's not because they have this plan, right? And you said that they cannot do abortion, literally just change their entire life, right? It's not responsible for the mother and for the baby neither. Yeah. OK，是我个人理解，流产要想使用生育险，必须有正当理由，不能因为自己不想生就流产了。这个是这样的吗？现在是这样的吗？就是刚才大家说，OK，因为计划生育，所以只要是合法的夫妻，想要去做这个事情的话，也是可以被这个允许的报销的。但是，如果说要加上有正当理由的话，那感觉就这个味道又不对的，不对了。OK，well, there are actually different opinions, different sharing, so I'm not so sure which one is correct. Yeah, I just want to see like which one makes more sense, right? Wow. Today I definitely learned a lot. Definitely learned a lot. Yeah. Okay, DeepSeek said 2016. So you're saying like 2016 is the time when like single child policy stopped? 我觉得应该不是2016年吧 I don't think it's 2016. That seems to be too early. Wait, I don't know. Well, if DeepSeek said it's 2016, maybe it's 2016, right? I just remember it's not like too long time ago. Annyeong, my friend. Welcome to my life. Yeah, they don't want abortion as a pregnancy control only in emergencies. Um, wait, what do you mean by like only in emergencies, right? Yeah. So, okay, especially ever since the Supreme Court case was overturned. What was that? I have no idea what's that. Also, another part of area that I don't know too much about it. Yeah, 没有遇到过，所以这个答案不是很确定. Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Yeah, I feel like for couples, you either for like married couples, you either just have babies or you just don't, right? Um, well, maybe some couples would also like accidentally had a baby, but most couples when they accidentally have a baby, they just decided to have the baby, right? They consider it to be 缘分, it's like a fate. Yeah, so a baby was sent to me by the supreme power, by fate, right, to my life, and maybe okay, I'm just gonna have it, right? So even for like many families, they don't have the plan of have babies. Maybe after the baby come accidentally, they just take it and say that okay, I'm just gonna have the baby, right? Yeah. Abortion is legal in Mexico in the first 3 months of gestation. What does that mean? What does that mean? I have no idea. Yeah, our overlord DeepSeek. Yeah. Wait, MJ said 2021. Yeah, so like is it 2021 or 2016? I feel like I would rather believe 2021 because I seriously don't remember that's like that long time ago that we have we opened up one child policy, right? When you talk about 2016, that's like 10 years ago, right? So I seriously remember it's not like that long time, like 10 years ago. I remember it's just several years ago we started open up like one child policy and then people can start to have like more than one child, right? And I remember at the very beginning it was just only like two children allowed for every family, and also like some criteria like the two the two couples has to be single child themselves, then they can have like two babies, right? If they are not single child or one of them are not single child, then they cannot have like more than one baby. Still have to follow the one child policy. So it was like very gradually loosened. I remember it was like that, right? Yeah, back then. Okay, 2016 was the two child policy, and 2021 ended it, I thought. Okay, okay, right. Is that by Lord Deepseek, my friend? How's China's baby birth rate right now? Mark, maybe help me ask DeepSeek, Lord DeepSeek, and let's see what's the answer. Yeah, he gave. Not so sure about the birth rate here in China. Yeah, not so sure about that. But I remember the marriage and divorce rate ratio. The divorce marriage ratio, the marriage divorce ratio is 1.9. So it's like every couple, like 1.9 couple got married. There's one couple divorced. Pretty bad. Yeah. What about other countries, guys? What's the other countries? Yeah. Your earrings are cute. You like it? Thank you, my friend. What about the necklace? Do you like it? Yeah, thank you. Yeah, so like somehow like the birth rate, I'm not so sure, but I don't think it's very promising, the birth rate. Yeah. We have discussed a lot before. Like, hi Jay from Kenya. Welcome, my friend. That's crazy. Well, that's crazy government control. Well, Zach, I agree and disagree. I can't say like I agree with you. I can say I don't agree with you because sometimes it's a process. It's a process that how to say it. Yeah. For example, like you would notice one thing, which is that the poorer the family is, the more children they have. 小丸子，我发现有好多人的这个 username 都叫小丸子，所以我经常看到各种小丸子，我不知道是不是同一个小丸子，但这应该是一个新的小丸子。因为问我会不会说中文，如果是一个旧相识小丸子，应该是知道这个 answer 的。Yeah, okay. Yeah, guys, follow me please and tap the screen to sending likes, okay? Follow me please if you haven't done so, okay? Yeah, so like for example, you would notice one thing, which is like the poorer the family is, the more kids they would have. And also when it comes to country level, the same. Like when a country is like very poor, somehow people just have lots of kids. But for a country that is very developed, especially country with very good welfare, then people start to have like less children. So that's why in many of the Western worlds, you start to see like so many you start to see so many countries that have like less children, and they are like really encouraging people to have children. Somehow like just people don't have like lots of children in the Western world. And since China has like a lot of economic growth over the past decades, right, and people become more and more becomes richer and richer, and like when it comes to richer family, they just don't want to have a lot of kids. Yeah, youth divorce rate is 40 to 50%. Yeah, that is like so high. Hi Jason, long time no see, good to see you back here. Yeah. So I'm not so sure about the birth rate here in China, okay? Not so sure about the birth rate. I don't know the exact data. So if there's someone who can look it up on DeepSeek and share it in here, that would be great. Yeah. My grandmother had 8 children. Yeah, like my grandmother on my dad's side has like 6 children, and my mom's side has 4 children. So there are even like families that has like 10 children. That's not common in China for our last generation. So because that was the period of time that China was like really poor, right? And also somehow the kind of concept people had back then is that okay, it's pitiful if we don't have children, and we need to support a country, and one way to support a country is to have as many babies as possible. And I guess also because back then people don't have a lot of entertainment activities in the evening, so maybe the only thing they can do for entertainment is having babies, making babies. Okay, that's just a joke. Okay, that's a joke. That's actually not a very good joke. Like showing no respect for the elderlies. Yeah. Anyhow, yeah. So yeah, and back then people don't have a very strong sense of about birth control. And to be honest, back then all the birth control product was not good enough, right? Because my mom also told me, okay, a very interesting, a very funny story, right? So I shared with you guys, right? Report said women easier die from heart attack since they do more child care. Oh, okay, that's too bad, right? Yeah. So that's why like we need to take care of our bodies better, nicer, like as women, right? Okay, so back to the story. Okay, it was so interesting. So I shared with you guys, like in ancient time, we don't have condoms, right? So one of the ways, like Asian Chinese people would prevent having children is by using fish maw. Right? I have showed you guys pictures of fish maw. Do anyone remember the fish maw? Like they would just use fish maw, and because fish maw has a very similar shape as a condom, um, extended condom. Okay, not like this condom. Okay, the shape of condoms, right? Okay, for those of you who have not seen it, I'm gonna just show you guys. Okay, so in ancient time, like lots of like Chinese people, they use fish maw to to use it as condom. Yeah, I'm gonna show you guys what is fish maw. Okay, so what's the shape of it, and you guys can immediately understand it. Okay, I shared you with you guys the photo of fish maw. Okay, so that is fish maw. Okay, you guys can see fish maw right in here, the shape of fish maw, right? So like in ancient time, like people just use that. Okay, you see like now it's like very hard, right? However, when you put the fish maw into water, then it becomes softened. So it's like very softened. It's how to say the texture. So the texture is like very soft. It's not like this like very hard. Like it's not like this, not very hard. So when you put it in water for a long time, then it becomes like how to say 这个 texture, how to say this texture, because I don't even mushy, yeah, mushy, right, it becomes mushy, right? Yeah, I don't even know how to say it in Chinese, so kind I can't really find the word, right, English word, but thank you for helping me with it. Yeah, it becomes really mushy. So that's how like Asian Chinese people would use that as birth control, like the condom. Yeah, elastic, not really elastic, it becomes like really soft and really mushy. Yeah, I think mushy is the right word, since you're expert. Gal, right? Yeah, 软绵绵，对，它就变成了那种，我都不知道中文应该讲这个怎么样的质地啊，大家可以去吃一吃啊，就知道了。Yeah, guys, you can actually have a try and eat it. Wait, will guys still eat it after I told you guys like Asian time Chinese people use it as birth control? Do people will still want to eat it? It's pretty good for women, you know? It's really good for women. Like I really like eating it, okay? I really like eating the Asian condom. Fish ball has lots of collagen. 油条肯定不行啦，妹子，哪有油条？油条一碰就破了，同志，露露，笑死我了啊！OK，Oh my God，我都不知道油条英文怎么说。Someone said something else, like use that as a Asian condom, as a, like not possible at all. So fish maw 是花椒, okay? So fish maw is really good for females, okay? Because it has like a lot of collagen. So it's said to be a beauty food, okay? When you eat it, you are providing yourself a lot of like collagen. So that's why like for females, eating lots of collagen, lots of fish maw is good, okay? So that's for Asian time, right? However, later, 妮妮 hi 是啊，我是会讲英文的妮妮哈。Okay, so like so for example now like later on when it's like when my mom was little, okay, so my mom was born in the 60s, okay, she was born in the 60s, like deep fried dough stick, okay, yeah. Yeah, someone would say like maybe use like deep fried dough stick as like replacement oh my god of fish maw, use that as condom, okay, yeah. Who needs banana flavor when you can have fish maw? Oh my god, Louis the cat, oh my goodness, now we're talking about different flavors of condoms, oh my god, edible condoms, yeah. Okay, yeah, speaking of that, yeah, okay. This is funny. Okay, this is funny. Okay. Yeah, so fish maw is good for women, and fish maw can also be used as condom, and fish maw can be quite tasty if cooked well. Okay, by adding it up all together, well, it can be a pretty good birth control tool. Okay, oh my god. Yeah, I don't expect this, right? That is so funny. Yeah, here we go, Louis the cat. Yeah, when you say that, I never thought into that direction until you say that, fish maw is condom is better than banana flavor condom. Oh my god, that is so funny. Yeah. Yeah. So like how we cook fish maw is like first of all you have to really just put fish maw in water for at least 2 days until it becomes like bigger and become like very mushy. And then well when you are like soaking it in water, you also have to put ginger and also garlic in it because it can be really how to say 很腥啊，很腥，how to say 很腥气啊，它很腥气，腥气 yeah, it has like the fishy smell. It has the fishy smell, so that's why like when you like soak it in water, you have to put lots of like ginger and spring onion, those kind of things in it, so that like remove the fishy smell with it. And then like later on, that you just put usually like one good way of cooking it is just put the fish maw together, cook it together with chicken broth. Okay, so and then you're gonna just be able to eat the very mushy fish maw. Yeah, or maybe you can then later on after it cools down, use that as condom. My god, this is so funny. Yeah, don't do it. Don't do what? Like let me see. What's social ignac? 我放下了我的枣子. Yeah, so we just say fishy. Oh my god, you guys are funny. Yeah, what did social knickknack said? When you show the photos, I thought that looks like 油条. Yeah, I was showing that to tell people like why in ancient time Chinese people would use fish maw as condom, right? Because the shape of it, right? Yeah. That sounds like it would burn. What would burn? Louis tries amigo. What? Why? You guys are talking to each other. I miss a conversation, but it seems to be a very interesting. Yeah. So maybe my directs. Maybe the next time they just come up with a fish maw flavor kind of condom. Yeah. Okay. So okay, back to the like another very funny thing. Okay, so like that's like in ancient time, right? Chinese people use that, right? However, in later on, like for example in the 70s, and especially in the 80s, right? Wait, my mom, wait, not 80s, 70s, right? I remember my mom said when she was during her teenager years, and then somehow like one day, like the my grandma, which is my mother's mom, right? Her mom start to have like those condoms like given by the company, by the factories. Yeah, back then everyone was working for the factories, right? So all of a sudden, like there's something, they started, maybe the country started to want to have those birth control. So somehow like the factories where my grandma worked at started to give their workers condoms for free. So it's very interesting that then my grandma got so many free condoms and brought those free condoms back home. And my mom said that back then the condoms that my grandma got for free was like so thick. It's not like today, right? Like all the time you just saw Durex made all those like advertisement and said that, oh, okay, our condom is like 0.01 millimeters, right? It's extremely thin, you would feel nothing, right, when using it, something like that, right? But my mom said that back then she saw those condoms as like really thick. It's really just like the rubber, kind of rubber gloves, right? How many of you guys have used rubber gloves? Yeah. So like the thick of so thick, it's like rubber gloves, like kind of thickness. Yeah. And then she said that, it's so interesting because like it's so elastic. So back then what happened is that she and her sister, they just used it as balloon. They just blow it and make it into big balloon and they start to play the balloons at home. That's basically what they did back then because they got so many like free condoms. Like my grandma got so many free condoms from the factory. I guess maybe that was pretty much the time that China started to implement single child policy and started wanting people to have birth control, right? And you want people to have birth control, and if you don't support them with birth control tools, right? Birth control kind of things like condoms, then how can people have birth controls? Like you can't just tell people that starting right now on, you can no longer have extra babies, and everyone during the nighttime just sleep, don't do anything else, right? There's no way people would do that, right? So what happens? I think it maybe it was the country's policy, right? They started to just give their workers all the free condoms back then. I remember, I think it should be like around the 70s. Okay, it should be around the 70s because my mom said it was during the time when she was a teenager, and my mom was born in the 60s. Then it should be around the 70s. Then many of the factories here in China started to give their workers, their employees, the free condoms. However, the free condoms was not like the condoms today, okay? Because the condoms back then, the technology was not like nowadays, like can be like very thin, but at the same time, you make sure that they would not be broken, right? How back then, like you have to make sure they don't break, right? They don't got broken when you use them because this is for birth control, right? You want China to have single child policy, you have to have those birth control, so you make sure that they better have like a better quality. And you don't need to care too much about whether it feels good or not, right? You only need to care whether the quality is good or not, right, my friend? Hi, Andre. Yeah, from Brazil. Welcome. Yeah, follow me, please, my friend. And then it's so funny that, sis, are your company hiring? I hope to hire, but we have to make more money in order to hire more people, Gail. Yeah. Well, if you're interested in working like part time or something, yeah, sure. Because to be honest, not able to afford a very high salary at the moment. Yeah. Okay, back to the very interesting topic, right? So that's why, like, yeah, everybody tap the screen to send in likes and follow me, please, if you haven't done so, right? Okay. Yeah, so that's why, like, back then they have all those like very thick condoms, like high quality, but not the pleasure condom we're having nowadays, right? And then like has so many of them. And then, basically what my mother did back then together with her sisters are they just well, they didn't know these are condoms because my grandma didn't tell them these are condoms, right? My grandma didn't tell her that's actually a condom. So she just said that, okay, this is balloons. Hey, you guys can just blow it, make it a balloon, and play at home, right? So that's basically my mother's and her sister did, right? They just blow the condom and make it into balloon. And they were always curious why all out the balloon, like instead of a balloon, right? The why this balloon is like very different because when you blow it on top of the balloon, there's always like a little small thing. What's it called? That pops up. You guys know what that is, right? Instead of like those ordinary balloons, right? So it was like really funny, right? Yeah. So they say like at home they just play the balloons, right? Everyone just throw up the balloon, the tip, right? They have the tip on top of it, so they just throw it, and then one just it's like basically just like playing volleyball, right? The balloon volleyball balls, like at home, using those free kind of things. So they just wonder, right? It doesn't look like the kind of balloon they see elsewhere, right? And it's white balloons, yeah, rubber band. Yeah, it was like very funny story. Yeah, yeah. Guys, have you guys followed me? Today is so much fun, right? Yeah, I feel it. Yeah, yeah. Married girls in the West are proud to sport a ring on their fingers. They aren't. Why aren't you sporting yeah, we actually discussed about that before. Yeah, my stomach hurts. Really, that's funny, right? Yeah. Maybe how many of you actually wanted to try using a condom and blow it into a balloon? Wait, talking about that, well, that actually reminds me another thing, my friend. That actually reminds me another thing, right? Because like nowadays, for example, Durex, those kind of brand, when they make balloon, sorry, when they make condom, not balloon, sorry. When they make condoms, they also put lots of lubricants, right? Is that the right English word? Lots of lubricant oils on it. So it also means back then the condom has no like lubricants oils on it. It's just like rubber, rubber, right? My friend. Yeah. Okay. Interesting. Lubricant. Okay. Lubricant. Okay. Yeah. Thank you. Lubricant. Thank you, my friend. Yeah. So nowadays, when you look at the condoms here, like the condom has lots of lubricant oil on it, right? But but I'm pretty sure it doesn't have lubricant. Well, I didn't check that with my mom. I'm gonna check with her. Oh my god, and she would be like, "Why would you ask me that?" Yeah. So if you don't have like lubricant on it, then how can you make it into balloon, right? You don't want to blow it when it's like so oily on it, right? Yeah, because I was about to ask, like, after we had this very fun talk today, then like, does anyone want to actually try blow a condom to make it into a balloon and try to play it and see whether it really will float like a balloon? Yeah. Well, I actually want to have a try. Yeah. Oh my God, that is slang is lube. Okay, lube. Lub lube. Okay. Interesting. Okay, that's so funny. I think I will. Okay, you think you will, right? I actually also have want to have a try. I think it's fun. Yeah, I think it's fun. Yeah, I myself also want to have a try of it. Oh my god, it's latex. I can't stand the smell. Well, what do you mean? Oh, okay, you're talking about the lube, right? Yeah. Uh huh. So okay, so people asking me like, why do I put a ring? Okay, yeah. Since if you ask, like, okay, I'm gonna put a ring. Okay. Yeah. The thing like so like we don't here lots of the Chinese people don't have the habit of putting a wedding ring, okay? It's not because like we are not proud of being married or something, okay? it's mostly because like people are not used to have a wedding ring, like always wear a wedding ring. It doesn't feel like very comfortable. It's the major reason. Because you have lived so many years without wearing a ring, and all of a sudden you start to wear a ring that just doesn't feel very comfortable. That's the thing. So like I kind of agree. So at the very beginning, I know like in the West, people have this habit of always wearing a wearing wedding ring, right? No matter where you go, you just see people wear a wedding ring and you know this person is married, right? Somehow, like in here in China, you would notice like so many Chinese people, they just don't wear any wedding rings, even though they do have it. Yeah, it is as funny from the hemorrhoid story yesterday. Yeah. Yeah, that's also a very funny story about the hemorrhoids. Those were all the stories that made me really laugh. Yeah. So I also enjoyed sharing with you guys as well in here, right? So like wait, okay, so there are lots of Chinese Jews in here, like lots of Chinese friends in here, right? Can you tell me that if you are married, do you guys actually wear wedding rings every day? Yeah, type 1 if you wear wedding day rings every day. Type 2 if you don't. Okay, so Chinese only. Okay, Chinese only on red note. If you wear wedding ring, if you're married, you wear wedding ring, type 1. If you're married and you don't wear wedding ring, type 2. Okay. Yeah. Chinese friend only, okay? Chinese friend. Okay, so for those of you who are not married, or say, for example, if you intend to get married in the future, type 1 if you will wear wedding ring, type 2 if you want. Okay, Chinese only. Okay, Chinese only. Yeah. Look, like majority people actually type 2. Majority people type 2. Yeah. Not a lot of people type 1. Yeah. So again, the question again, okay? For Chinese only, for Chinese friend, if you are married and you wear a wedding ring, type 1. If you don't wear a wedding ring, type 2. Okay? Type 2. Okay, let's see what's the survey result. Yeah. What's 0? Wait, why are you typing 0? What do you mean by typing 0? Yeah. So like lots of Chinese here don't wear a wedding ring. Yeah, don't wear a wedding ring. To be honest, a wedding ring can be quite pricey, can be quite expensive. To be honest, like when I get married, like my husband and I, we even thought of not buying a wedding ring because we both of us feel like it's not comfortable to wear a wedding ring, and wedding ring is so costly, right? But my mom is like, no, 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 you must buy it. You must buy a wedding ring. You must buy a very expensive wedding ring, right? We said like, wait, but the wedding ring is only just for the wedding ceremony, right? You just basically wear it on wedding ceremony and afterwards just don't wear it. Why do we need to spend that much money to buy a very expensive wedding ring, right? We can just basically buy a plastic fake one online and just do it during the wedding, right? And she's like, no, 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 you cannot do that. So that's why we eventually actually well, for example, my wedding ring cost like my wedding ring cost 1400 US dollars. Wait, no, 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 not 1400, 两万块钱是多少钱？两万块钱应该是 2800, 2800, 28, like around 30,000, 3,000, around 3,000 US dollars. Yeah, my wedding ring is around 3,000 US dollars, like for a ring only. So purchased it. Yeah, I believe love is what matters most. Commitment, communication, and loyalty. Yeah. So like yeah, so I feel like whenever I wear a wedding ring, because my wedding ring is also pretty beautiful. Oh, this is not with a wedding ring. Okay, this is more for like for fun ring. Okay, yeah, it's pretty beautiful as well. Like it's pretty lovely as well, right? Yeah. Actually, do you guys notice that I have very pretty beautiful hand, very long fingers? Yeah, very long fingers. Like my hand is good looking, pretty good looking hand. Have you guys noticed it? And also like I have a pretty small face. So we have here we say a palm face. Like my face is basically a palm face. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, so my wedding ring has like a lot of like small diamonds on it, and that is like very expensive. But somehow I just don't wear it. And it's also true, like they agree that like wearing a ring all the time is not so comfortable. Yeah, especially when you want to wash your hand. Like I wash my hands a lot. Like before eating, I wash my hands. After um toilet, I wash my hands, right? And also like there are multiple times you have to wash your hands, but when you have a ring on it, like you wash it, it just doesn't feel like really comfortable. So, however, like for a personality like me, if I have every time I have to take off the ring and wash the hands, most likely I'll just lose it. Yeah, because I'm pretty sure, 100% sure, if I do that, I'm pretty sure that I will just forget to put the ring back on. Yeah, yeah, it's hygienic. Yeah, so your hands and your face both look beautiful. Thank you, my friend. Thank you, my friend. Yeah. Oh, I've never seen anybody flex their hand. What do you mean by flex their hand? When you use hand cream, the ring. When you use hand cream, the ring will eat your hand cream. Oh, really? Wait, so the hand cream is not good for the ring, right? Because of the texture. Get it insured. Yeah, but I mean, like, even I can get insurance. The first of all, like buying insurance just for the ring is pretty troublesome, right? And second of all, like when you lose a ring, right? It's your, especially it's a wedding ring. It's not like a luxury kind of ring like I purchased, right? If I lose my wedding ring, then even though it's covered by insurance, I still would feel really sad, right? Even though like I buy another ring, the very same exact ring, same ring, it doesn't just feel the same, right? Because that one is the original like wedding ring. It's not like the kind of ring that you just can buy in the store as a replacement, right? So, yeah, brag. It is nice though. Thank you, my friend. Yeah, okay. Some wear it on the necklace. Yeah, I know it. Yeah, wear it on the necklace is also very beautiful. Yeah, also very beautiful. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Lots of sentimental value. Yeah. So I feel like jewelries or accessories are more for emotional values. So like for example, when you have like accessories on you, you just feel like more confident and you feel like more energy. That's a kind of value that those like accessories would bring you. Yeah. Some people did a tattoo ring. Yeah. I saw it. Just do it. That's a pretty good idea. Like do a tattoo ring, so that like you don't worry about like washing your hands, like everything, right? You can still enjoy every day. However, you have a ring on it, right? Yeah, lots of people do that as well. Yeah, that's a pretty good idea. But having tattoo is pretty painful as well. Having a tattoo is pretty painful, and like it's also like people told me, for people who have tattoos, they told me that for different parts of body when you have tattoos, the level of pain is different. For some areas of your body when you have tattoo, it doesn't feel painful at all. For some areas of your body when you do tattoo on it, it's like super painful. Yeah. So not sure. Do the Western people like the diamond ring? Oh, that's a good question. Let me ask you, friends. Like, we have like so many foreigners in here, right? So, like, guys, can you tell me, like, especially the ladies, do you guys like a diamond ring? I'm pretty sure the answer is yes. Like, who would not like? Which girl would not like diamond ring, right? Which girl would not like diamond ring? Like, I think every girl will love to have a diamond ring, and everyone like diamond ring, right? Yes, Patty said yes. Must be diamond. Yeah. Patty is like, yes, must be diamond. Yeah. You're the most interesting on this slide. Could listen to you all the time. Thank you, Sam. Yeah. So like, yeah, ladies. Okay, ladies, do you like diamond rings? Now question to not the Chinese, the non-Chinese, okay? Question to the Western ladies. Do you like the diamond rings? Or Western guys as well, you know about your wife and girlfriends, right? Just tell me also here, like whether your wife or your girlfriend love diamond rings. Yeah, because like our Chinese friend here wanted to know in the West, like do people like diamond rings there? Yeah, except me. Lily, you don't like diamond rings? Yeah, I like diamond rings. Yeah. I never wanted diamonds. Oh, Louis the cat, you don't want diamond. Yes, the West like their glitz and glam. Hand tats are painful. Yeah, hand tattoos must be very painful. I can tell. Yeah. Okay, so who yeah, so do people do girls in the West like diamond rings? Yeah. Diamond and sapphire. Okay, diamonds are a fraud. Yeah. So nowadays there are places that can make like artificial diamonds, and they're basically just the same as the natural diamonds because they are basically just carbon, right? And then somehow like here in China, especially in Henan province, there are many factories out there that can make like artificial diamonds with the same level and even higher level of the 3C, right? The higher level of clearance, clarity. What else? Yeah, so like when it comes to this the quality of the diamond, those artificial the quality of those artificial diamonds can be even higher than the quality of the natural diamonds, and somehow they are extremely cheap. And if you look at the components of artificial diamonds, they are basically just the same. Lab created diamonds are basically just the same as the natural diamonds. It's just that, so the reason why diamond is so expensive because diamonds are like very rare, right? Diamonds are really rare. However, nowadays when you can just make artificial diamonds, then those diamond brands start to tell a story that, okay, natural diamonds are very different from artificial diamonds because they are rare and they are natural. However, if you look at the components, they're basically just the same. Still, like women buy it. Still, women buy it, right? Women still want to just want something rare. Okay, it's almost 9 o'clock, my friend. Time to tap the screen to send in likes. Yeah. Yesterday, someone sent us such a funny photo in the group chat on Red Note, saying that. Oh my god, saying that at night everyone is like this. It was so funny. Yeah, I still rather spend the money traveling. Same. Louis the cat. Me too. Yeah, so I'd rather spend time and money traveling than buy lots of luxury products. Yeah, me the same. Yeah. And guys, time to tap the screen to send in likes. Okay, for those of you who haven't followed me, definitely follow me. Okay, this is definitely a very interesting live stream. Okay, definitely a very interesting live stream. I'm definitely a very interesting live streamer, a very interesting host. So follow me if you haven't done so. Okay, definitely follow me, my friend. Follow first of all, follow me, and second off, join my team. Okay, how are you gonna join my team? Is once you have clicked the follow button in here, it will become a heart, and just press a heart again. So that's how you're able to join my team. Okay, join my team, and third of all, tap the screen to sending likes. Okay, third of all, tap the screen to sending likes, and also if possible, for friends on right now, there is a button down below which looks like a leaf that is called interaction. Press that, and that's how you're able to send me a yellow ticket called 人气票. Okay, and so that yellow ticket is purely for the purpose of pushing this live stream to more people so that more people can come and see this live stream and also help me get a higher ranking. Okay, my goal is not very aggressive. I'm happy as long as I'm reached top 40. Okay, as long as I'm top 40, I'm happy. Right now, I am the 40th, so a bit dangerous. So it would be great if you guys can, first of all, follow me and keep on tapping the screen to send in likes and try to follow my team and help give me some of the yellow tickets and help. Oh, I'm 41, my friend. Keep on tapping the screen to send in likes. Yeah, yeah, I'm happy as long as I'm 40, okay? But now I'm 41, so guys, help me. Keep on tapping the screen, okay? Keep on tapping the screen to send in likes, okay? Everyone, I set the target for you to tap the screen for 500 times. Okay, 500 times. That's not hard to do. Okay, you can do it with both hands. Tap the screen to send in likes and also join my team. Oh, we are 38 now. Okay, that is fantastic. 38. Okay, one more minute to go. Okay, one more minute to go. Yeah, and also give me, please join my team and also send this yellow tickets. These are all the ways you're gonna help me achieve a higher ranking. Okay, yeah. Yeah, these are the very cheap way and very easy way to help me achieve higher rankings. Yeah, yeah, I'm happy as long as I'm within 40. Okay, so just guys, one more minute to go. Okay, just keep on tapping the screen to make sure I stay within the 40th. Make sure I stay within the 40s and just one more minute to go. And after the 1 minute, and we are all good, and we can just go back to normal. Okay? Yeah, yeah. Thank you, Louis the Cat, for sending so many yellow tickets. You're amazing. And tap the screen to send you like. And for those of you who haven't followed me, definitely follow me. Okay? Follow me, please, my friend. Follow me, please. 啊，没有关注的赶紧关注一下，没有亮粉丝灯牌的赶紧亮一下，没有送人气票的赶紧送一下。啊，没有点赞的赶紧多点赞一下，好吗，同志们呀？OK，祝你成为小红书贵女。好嘞，谢谢 No Talk。OK，fantastic。OK，it's nine. Yeah, that's all. Okay, friends. Can ask your finger to take a rest. Okay, rest your finger and do something like this. Do some exercise like this, like you're squeezing the air. Yeah. So like recently I started doing some like what we here call in Chinese 养生 start to lots of 养生的操作 how to say 养生啊 I don't even know how to say 养生 in English because it's such a Chinese word. Let me see how to say 养生养生英文怎么说 Wow, the English translation of 养生 is health. I'm pretty sure it's not the same as health. Yeah. Thank you guys. Yeah. So I started to have lots of like okay, let's see. Health rituals. Maybe that's a better way of saying it. Healthcare healthcare. No, not really. What's the best translation of 养生啊？养生英文怎么讲？养生英文要怎么讲？还真不知道 how to say 养生. Yeah. So for example, I start to play the 八段锦, which is a Chinese exercise, okay? And also 五禽戏. So one of the exercise is like you're gonna be It's a tiger fist. Okay, tiger fist. It's like this. It's like, okay, you go down like and you push up and then goes up and then you do this and then goes down, something like that, right? And there's also one thing like this. You're a tiger, right? So you do this, something like that. Those kind of exercise, very funny. Yeah, talking about finger exercise, keep in good health. Yeah. Yeah, so these are like also like very good like Chinese exercise. I know there are like content creators on Red Note that does like specifically like Chinese way of exercise, right? For example, in the West, like Pamela, what's her name? Pamela Wood. Maybe health routines. Yeah, maybe that sounds to be a very good translation. Health routines. The Chinese health routines. Okay, Chinese health routines is a whole system, and guys, it really work. It really work. Okay, the health routines, Chinese health routine really work. Okay, here in China we call it 养生，养生是真的真的有用。So I have something to share with you guys. I haven't really done my health routines for a long time, and then so I could feel that like back then, like my body, the health condition deteriorated a lot, right? You guys saw me got sick after Chinese New Year and got see me sick again, right? Just in March, right? Just 1 month ago, right? You guys all see it, right? And so afterwards, like I got like very weak, and somehow like I started to do lots of the health routines to help my body recover. It helps. So, for example, how many of you have like a sleeping issue? How many of you have sleeping issue? There are like many things you can do to help to improve the sleeping quality, and they really really work. They really work, no joke, that they really work to improve the sleeping issues, right? So sometimes, right, some people, like lots of people nowadays, have lots of pressure, especially when you become like so anxious and you start to feel like really lots of pressure in life, then you would have the sleeping issue, right? So like insomnia, right? And there are devices that help you sleep. So you guys can actually do this. There are like multiple things that can help you improve your sleep. In English, we would probably prefer to it as self-care or holistic wellness. Okay, that's a better suggestion of English translation. Self-care and holistic wellness. Yeah, I like it. Okay, let's just use self-care because that's easier to remember. Okay. So self-care is a huge topic here in China. Like lots of people, study a lot about like self-care. Like usually the principle behind the Chinese self-care is the TCM, traditional Chinese medicine system. Right? I have previously shared with you guys like, okay, so it's most healthy for the body if you could live in a way that is according to the rules of the nature, right? The rules of in the nature. For example, when the sun rises, that should also be the time you wake up, right? And start your day. So definitely don't sleep till noon, because that's not going making your body go according to the nature, the rule of the nature, right? And also when the night comes, and also is the time you should rest rather than just doing a very heavy workout, right? That's not good for your body according to the traditional Chinese medicine system, right? So also we were saying that, yeah, before the sleep there are multiple things you can do, right? So first of all, definitely try, if you are having sleeping issues, definitely try, like I said multiple times before, soak your feet in hot water, warm water. 泡脚是真的有用. Soak your feet in hot water. Or if your family has a big bathroom, if you have a tub, can also have like a bath. I can have a 泡澡怎么说? Can have a bathtub. 泡澡 can definitely have a bath, like just lying down in hot water, warm water in the bath bath the bathtub. Am I right about that? Remember you said last time you was on live? Yeah, I said that. I share that. So that absolutely works. Okay. So like for me, so nowadays in China, lots of the jacuzzi. Yeah, jacuzzi is like so fancy, right? So like but many families, like they probably don't have that right at home, and also that actually use lots of water, and it's pretty troublesome, right? Every time you have to wait till the water fills the bathtub, and also every time you also have to clean the bathtub, right? And it's pretty troublesome, right? Every time you have to wait till the water fills the bathtub, and also every time you also have to clean the bathtub, right? These are the points on your, what's it called, 小腿. 哎呀，今天真是特别丰富的一天啊！小腿怎么说？小腿, your cough, your cough. Okay, so there are so many pressure points on your cough. I have shared you guys before, like and during my trip in Shenzhen, like back then, like about the pressure points on your cough, right? 有一个叫足三里，对吧？还有三阴交. These are very good pressure points. When pressing it hard, it's gonna good for your body. Okay, so it's like for me, I personally would use a bucket and then like just fill the entire bucket and put my entire feet and all the way to the cup. So the water, for example, this is my cup, then this is my feet, right? So the water goes up to there. So definitely gonna, I think there is a pressure point on your calf that is called Li. So you're gonna just put every entire calf and your feet in the very warm hot water. So the best temperature is around 40 to 43 degrees Celsius, 40 to 40 degrees Celsius, which is 104, which is 104 degree Fahrenheit. Okay, 104 degree Fahrenheit. Yeah, so that's actually the best temperature for soaking your feet during evening time before sleep. Okay, before sleep. So that's the first thing you can do. You will notice that it really helps with the sleep. Okay, so you could also put some herbs inside the water, the hot water as well, right? Depending on your health condition, you could even put some like, for example, chili in it to remove the, well, it's actually not chili, 花椒, pepper. Well, pepper, you can also put pepper in it. You could put ginger in it so that you know 真的有这么多外国人吗？小红书真的有这么多外国人？我的直播间基本上都是外国人，很多外国人。Yeah. So that's also like something you could do, right? And also stretching. Stretching is really good, my friend. Try stretch yourself before the sleep, before night, okay? I'm pretty sure there are plenty of content creators out there who teaches you how to do the stretches. Even though it can be painful, especially for people who are not that elastic, you know, who doesn't have a very flexible body, right? So it can be quite painful to do stretching, but just try. Just try stretch before sleep at night. Okay. So I feel like stretching and also so there are three things that works terrifically for when it comes to helping sleep. Okay. So first of all is soaking feet in water, in warm water before sleep at night. And second thing is stretching, yoga stretching. Okay, stretching yoga that's gonna help your body to relax. And the third thing is meditation. So if you are able to do the three things, you will notice that your sleep quality improves significantly. You will notice your sleep issue is all gone and like well, maybe it's not gone. However, like it will improve significantly. My back would be hurting. Wait, why? Like by doing stretches? No, you don't push yourself to an extreme. You don't push yourself to an extreme. You stretch to a point that you're comfortable with it. Yeah. I will never be able to think fast enough. What do you mean, Moo Christian? Yeah. Have you guys follow me? Did you just do the math or did you retrieve a memory of the temperature in Fahrenheit? Retrieve a memory? Otherwise, I would be so great, so wonderful at calculating between the yeah, because at the very beginning we were discussing about the topics, which is the weather, the climate, right? I was sharing at the very beginning when I first started a live stream that the weather in Shanghai can be so hot that during the summertime it can be so hot that the temperature can be 40 degrees Celsius. And then I didn't know how much is that in Fahrenheit. So I looked it up and I know that 40 degrees Celsius, 104 degree Fahrenheit. So I remember that. So when I said like the water temperature for soaking your food at the same time is also 40 Celsius degree. That is best, right? So I immediately know. So when it comes to Fahrenheit, it's 104 degree Fahrenheit. Yeah. So that's one thing that I have to do constantly because there's so many Americans in here, so many Westerners, and you guys use different measures, right? You guys use Fahrenheit, you guys use pounds, right? You guys use gallons, right? But here in China, we use like Celsius, we use kilograms, grams, right? We use liters instead of gallons, like pounds, right? So from time to time, whenever we discuss like different topics, I'll have to do the math and just transferring like different measures and also exchange, right? For example, like I also said, what's the price of something in renminbi or in Hong Kong dollars, and then I have to transfer that into like US dollars or pounds or euros, you know, doing the calculation. Yeah. So yeah. Yeah. So like soaking your feet in hot water before sleep is very good for blood circulation. Yeah. No talk. That's called blood circulation. Yeah. blood circulation, once you have a very good blood circulation. So that's why, like, when I Show Speed come to China, right? I saw someone said I Show Speed, I wrote I Show Speed before, right? So when I Show Speed came in China, so he went to see a traditional Chinese medicine doctor. I don't know if you guys have actually watched that. So Aisha Speed was in China and he went to see a traditional Chinese medicine doctor. It was so funny. So I have shared with you guys like Aisha Speed. Well, for Chinese friends, I'm pretty sure you guys know Aisha Speed, right? So Aisha Speed is 甲亢哥嘛，对吧？甲亢哥应该现在大家都知道了吧？这个美国最大的网红之一，one of the biggest KOLs from the US, right? So actually, his live stream is like really fun. Like he's super good at making all those exaggerated expressions and those kind of exaggerated reactions to like different funny videos, right? And that is pretty entertaining to watch. I like watching that as well. So like what he did is that he went to see a traditional Chinese medicine doctor, and one of the nickname Chinese people gave him is calling him hypothyroidism guy because his eyes are so big and so intense, right? Usually, like people who suffer from the hypothyroidism are would have those kind of symptom of having like really big eyes. And just so you guys know, like hypothyroidism is a big issue here in China. I'm not so sure if hypothyroidism is a big issue in your country as well. However, nowadays, like more and more people start to have like hypothyroidism, like some province around what's it called? 甲状腺。甲状腺问题现在有甲状腺问题人真的还挺多的。Thyroid, yeah. Lots of people start to have like thyroid problems nowadays in China. Not so sure about other countries. Yeah. So guys, if there are people from other countries, can you guys also share with me if this is a big problem? Because yesterday and the day before yesterday, we discussed about the hemorrhoids. It looks like hemorrhoids is a universal problem. It's not only a big problem here in China, it's also a big problem elsewhere in other countries as well, right? So I want to ask, what about thyroids? So for those of you who don't know what's the thyroid, these are like two small things in your neck, okay? 甲状腺, okay? Is thyroid a big problem in your country? So there are so many different like things, problems that can happen to people's thyroids, right? Some people have hypothyroidism, right? 那个是甲亢，那么还有一个是甲减，甲减是 hypothyroid。
Hypothyroidism.
喂，甲亢和甲减都叫 hypothyroidism 吗？hypothyroidism，那甲减也叫 hypothyroidism 吗？hypo. Oh, it's hyper. One is hyper, one is hypo. Okay, one is hyperthyroidism, one is hypothyroidism. And there's also another disease called 桥本甲状腺炎。桥本甲状腺炎。桥本甲状腺炎怎么说？Hashimoto's hyrodistis. Hashimoto's hyrodistis. So there are like different types of like thyroid hypothyroid thyroid oh my god 甲状腺 thyroid 甲状腺是 thyroid right thyroid yeah thyroid 啊我用什么查单词 Google Translate yeah okay hypo 是 underactive hyper is overactive okay thank you yeah 今天早上7点半到9点半7点半到9点半天天早上7点半到9点半可以关注一下我哦 follow me please yeah thyroid yeah thank you my friend yeah so lots of people start to have like thyroid problem oh my god this is like tongue twister like lots of people start to have like thyroid problems here in China. Like some people suffer from hyperthyroidism, some people suffer from hypothyroidism, right? And some people have like what's that? Hashimoto's, like the thyroid dis whatever you guys know that. Like all those people, and these are actually Moo, you're right. Moo Christian, you're right. It's like type of like autoimmune diseases. Yeah, it's like autoimmune disease, immune diseases. 自我免疫性疾病，就这些都是这样子。中国好像不能下载 ban 了，什么东西啊？下载什么东西啊？Yeah，匿名的女同学，Yeah。So lots of like people start to suffer from those kind of problems in here, and these are the especially for like thyroid problems. Like lots of women compared to men, more women have like thyroid problems compared to men because like somehow especially for women at the age from the age of 20 to 40. It seems that the that's the peak age for women to have like thyroid problems, to develop thyroid problems. But once you have start to have like thyroid problems, it's like extremely hard to get rid of all those like thyroid problems. Yeah, so lots of women nowadays here in China start to have like those kind of problems. And somehow it comes because of like lots of pressure. When you have like lots of pressure in life, women's life is pretty hard to be honest in majority of the countries, right? They need to take care of the babies, they have to deal with so many things in life, and when women become like so anxious, face lots of pressure, then start to have like thyroid problems. This is like self-immune problems. Yeah. Are you Chinese? Are you new here, Green? Yeah, I'm pretty sure you new here. Otherwise, you must know that I'm 100% Chinese. 绝对的中国人哈，绝对的中国人. It can be treated with medication, I know, but it's like you have to just take the pills throughout your life. So there are also Chinese medicine, traditional Chinese medicine, by making those like traditional Chinese like herbal teas to help, especially women, to cure those like thyroid problems. Mhm. 对的，Crystal Little C，谢谢你啊，帮我回复一下这个宝宝们。Yeah, especially postpartum. Oh yeah, especially postpartum, right? Yeah, so especially postpartum, like women will have to have start to build, like to be honest, like especially postpartum, like women would develop like all sorts of new diseases, right? Like lots of women would have like would have like hemorrhoids. We discussed about hemorrhoids yesterday, right? Many women would have like hemorrhoids problems after postpartum, right? So that's why again China, like Chinese people focus like very, very specifically on postpartum care, like postpartum confinement treatment. Like that's a big, big thing in China. Yeah, so we were like Chinese people are always surprised to see, like for example in the West, like women once they have babies, just right after giving birth to a baby, and they can just immediately the very next day, well, not the very next day maybe, but very next week, they just walk on the street, just having a baby stroller, right, and just walk on the street. And sometimes people just wear shorts, right, walking on the street. That's an absolutely no for Chinese people. And here, because we have this like postpartum confinement, so which is like 1 month after women having babies, that the mother must be taken extremely care for. So they have to do no chores and eat extremely nutritious meals. So like inside the family, that the lady is like the most utmost important figure. So everyone inside the family will just be around this woman. So everyone will have to, the husbands will have to do all the chores, right? And they also say that the mother-in-law will have to come, according to the traditional Chinese, the Chinese tradition, like the mother-in-law and also the girl's mother will also have to come over to take care. Or they probably can take turns, right? For example, 1 week is mother-in-law, the other week is the mother come over to take care of the mom. Believe me, we don't like either, but men here are insanely egotistical and don't care. Depends on what type of man. Well, some men here in China are also egotistical and don't care at all. So it's very important for ladies when you marry men. It's very important, like you find a husband that can care a lot for you. That especially after having a birth, when like women are at the weakest time, right? You have a husband is out there who can take very good care of you. Yeah, that's very important. What do they eat typically? So for example, right, for this 1 month time, like women have to eat really good, like for example, chicken broth. So and also beef, right? These are good for like recharging the energy for the body, right? And also whether also depends on whether the girl has enough breast milk, right? If the lady doesn't have the mother doesn't have enough breast milk, for example, they would have like cook like also 鲫鱼汤, a specific type of fish, a fish broth, a fish soup for the mother to drink. 什么黑鱼汤、鲫鱼汤都是下奶的嘛，对吧？These are also like very some specific fish soup for moms to drink, and these are good for moms to have more like breast milk to feed the baby. Yeah, so also like all sorts of things, like also like literally just all the kind of things that can help the mom to rebuild the energy of the body. Because well, I haven't had any baby yet, but many of my friends have already had. These are good for moms to have more like breast milk to feed the baby. Yeah, so also like all sorts of things, like also like literally just all the kind of things that can help the mom. Oh, the energy you have and push the baby out. And once you push the baby out, the kind of feeling is like you take a huge dump and you feel like so relaxed. You feel like the stomach is empty. It's like, okay, you have a constipation for a long time, and all of a sudden one day you're able to, get rid of all the poo inside your stomach, and and then you pushed everything out, and all of a sudden you feel like so comfortable around this area, right? They told me that, like for ladies who have a baby that basically feel the same. Is that true, right? No Talk said yes, it's really like poo poo, right? Yeah. Yeah, it's banana watermelon is what very good. What you're saying, banana watermelon is good for women after having babies? Is that what you say according to your culture and lots of fruit? Well, according to the Chinese theory, like watermelon might not be good because watermelon is considered to be the cold food, right? 是寒性的. Yeah, so like usually for ladies after having birth, it's good to have food that provides like sun power, the sun energy, like heat food to your body, right? So lots of like chicken broth, like beef, these are all the hot food, like heat food, the food that can provide heat to people's body. So women here after having birth for the 1 month, they tend to have those kind of food. So watermelon is considered to be the cold food. So for during the postpartum, they don't eat a lot of that. Yeah, yeah. So broth and soup also depends. It depends on what kind of broth, what kind of soup. Oh, okay, guys. Can you also tell me what's the difference between broth and soup? Yeah, what's the difference between broth and soup? Yeah, that's a 4 to 5 kilo poo. Yeah, 红枣红糖，对。What's the difference? Like my Western friends, can you tell me what's the difference between broth and soup? Because in Chinese, they are both called tang. They're both called tom, so they're the same. But somehow, like I just hear people say, "Oh, it's chicken broth," but you don't say it's chicken soup, right? So in China, we used to just call it soup. I also said the chicken soup until like one day, I heard like people say it's actually chicken broth. I don't really hear people call it chicken soup. So what's the difference between soup and broth? I thought I was born in the wrong country. Broth has nothing in it. Oh, okay. Okay, so soup has something in it, and broth has nothing in it. Broth is thin, while soup is thick. Soup has other ingredients mixed in. Soup has things. Oh, so soup is not like having things in it. Soup is like mixed. Oh, okay, got it. So like if you say that, then everything in Chinese, 所有的中国的汤 should all be soup. The way we cook it. Because I've seen like the broth is liquid. Yeah. So I think like everything in China should be called broth rather than soup then. Yeah. So broth is to make soup. Got it. So you first have the broth, right? Then you're just gonna mix everything. For example, the vegetables and put it in together with the broth to make a soup, right? Yeah. So you would blend everything of the pumpkins, flour, potatoes, chicken, vegetables, and then mix it together with the soup, with the broth, and to make a soup, right? Okay, I got it. I got it. Okay. Wow, you guys amazing. I learned so much today. Yeah, I learned a lot today. Definitely learned a lot today. Yeah, 我今天学了好多. First of all, learned typhoon, hurricane. And later on, learned about the 5 insurance and 1 pension here in China. And then now learn about the difference between broth and soup. Yeah, I always confuse between the two. Now I know it. Broth needs to be reduced for a long time. Okay, so just so you guys know, like if that's how you say broth and soup, then majority of the thing here in China it should be broth. Yeah. So how we cook it is that, for example, we just put a chicken inside water and just boil it, for example, 1 hour, 2 hours, and then we drink the broth out of the chicken broth. Yeah, but at the same time, we would also eat the chicken. We would not later on. So I know, like in the West, like later on, like many of you guys would then also just make the chicken meat together with some other vegetables and blend it using a blender and to make it into a different texture and then blend that together with the broth to make a soup, right? So we don't do the extra step. So we don't do the extra step to make it into to make it into soup. So I feel like so soup. Okay, so correct me if I'm wrong. Okay, so like according to my understanding, so a soup is broth plus puree, right? When you mix, so you would first of all, for example, put lots of vegetables inside water, boil it, and you make a broth, right? And then you would take out all the vegetables or some other vegetables and blend them to make them into like the texture like puree, right? And then later on you then mix the puree together with the soup with the broth to make it into soup. Is that right, my friend? Is my understanding right? That is my understanding. Soup is the final product ready to be eaten. Is my understanding right? Or chunky soup? Not all soup has the puree. Sometimes just broth. Now I'm confused. Oh my god, I'm still so confused between broth. Yeah. Okay, let me ask you this. So, say for example, if I just cook chicken, boil chicken inside. So, well, the first step of cooking the broth is you would put chicken inside the water, right, and boil it, and then that's the broth, right? So, my friend, that's the broth, right? So, when you have the broth and the chicken inside it, so like Chinese people just eat directly on that step. We don't like put everything like we don't do any extra step, okay? Just boil chicken inside water and we make it into what we call the Chinese jitang. Okay? So is that thing called soup or is that thing called broth? Chicken in it. And chicken boiled in water. And then, for example, you have a big pot and put chicken in it and you boil the chicken using water. And the water becomes like very tasty, right? So this whole pot with chicken inside it and also water inside it, is that called broth? Is that called soup? Is it called broth or is it called soup, my friend? Teach me. Yeah, my foreign friends, please teach me. I really want to know. So is that called soup or is that called broth? So that's broth, right? No, I don't take the chicken out. Faith, I don't take the chicken out. The chicken is still inside the water. Is I just take the entire pot onto the table. So inside the pot there is water. At the same time there is chicken. Do I call it broth or do I call it soup? Do I call it then it's oh okay. Okay, then it's soup. Now I understand. Okay. Okay. So okay, got it. Okay, so oh, wait, some people say it's broth, some people say it's soup. Okay, it's technically it's well if it's in it it's soup. If you take it out, only the liquid that's broth, right? Okay. Yeah, got it. So only the water, only the liquid, then that's broth. However, if you are just gonna put the entire pot on the table, there's water, there is a chicken in it, then the entire thing is then later on called soup, right? Okay. So that's why, like when we were little, when we learned that, we actually call it chicken soup. Yeah, we don't say it's chicken broth. Broth is the kind of word I learned later on when I started to watch Master Chef, especially the Australian version of MasterChef. That is a really, really interesting show. And puree soups change names depending on what's used to make it thick. Oh, okay. So puree soup has also different names. What are the other names of puree soups? Louis the Cat, teach me, teach me. I definitely want to learn. Yeah. I learned so many new English words after watching MasterChef. They say like, oh, this is called what? Like, for example, I also learned this word called umami. Yeah, umami 就是我们鲜嘛，提鲜鲜的这个鲜的英文叫 umami. Yeah, and also yeah, got to learn about puree, right? And also, I shared before that I previously never know that in West, like you guys, when you guys eat a Western dishes, right? For example, French cuisine, the way you eat it is actually you just combine every elements together in one bite. Yeah, because in Chinese we just eat everything separately, right? And also when it comes to eating dessert as well, like you also eat everything in one bite, right? For example, you have to eat the cream and the biscuits and the crumbles on top of it together in one bite. However, in China, we just eat everything separately. So, like, also from MasterChef, that's the moment that I started to understand, oh, that's how people eat French cuisines or eat Western food. And like, I tried it later on when I go to Western restaurants. The taste is like really amazing after I do this mixed everything in one bite. Yeah. What about congee? What's about congee? You do have a splendid time and pleasant night and sweet dreams and with sweet loves. Yeah. Yeah, it's 9:30, my friend. Yeah. Again, a beautiful day. Things like a chowder or thickened. Yeah, chowder, right. A bisque is thickened with rice. Oh, okay. Oh yeah, I remember back then in California, I had a clam chowder that is so tasty. Yeah, and that one is not called soup or broth. That one is called chowder. Yeah. Bisque, I don't really remember drinking bisque. Yeah, maybe next time I go to okay, bisque. What is bisque? I need to definitely check it out. Yeah, I am very technical. Yeah, okay, guys. Thank you again for joining the live today. Another fantastic morning from 7:30 to 9:30. And just so you guys know that I would have a live stream from 7:30 to 9:30 every day morning time. So look forward to seeing you again tomorrow. Clam chowder is also a soup. Okay. Great. Thank you. Thank you so much. And follow me, please. And also, guys, if you haven't joined my followers group, can definitely join here on Red Note. Okay. There's a followers group for people to join. Okay. Yeah. Okay. That's all for today. Thank you, my friend. Yeah. Lobster bisque. Oh, lobster bisque. Then I know I have to try that. Okay. Bye bye.